Now today we're replacing the transmission fluid on this 2011 Subaru Outback. They share this transmission also with the Forester and the Impreza, so on and so forth. Now very quickly, when you do this job, you're effectively also replacing the front differential fluid. The front differential and the transmission, they share the fluid. So in a sense, you're doing two jobs in one shot, which is very, very good. They recommend this every 30,000 miles, and the fluid is 75 W's winter, viscosity is 90. Okay, so 75 W 90, and the main thing is you want the GL5 designation. Look on the back of the bottle that you'll be using. Make sure you see GL5. That's the main thing that you need to see. You need about 4 quarts to do this job, and a T70 bit. Everything you see here, there's a couple tools that I'll be using. I'll have links in the description box below to our Amazon affiliate site if you need anything. That being said, let's begin. Now the dipstick is located on the right hand side or the passenger side. You'll find the same location for automatic transmission vehicles. And right there is the dipstick. Now when you check the fluid, make sure the vehicle has cooled off. We want to make sure it's cold. So let me place down the camera. It's a little hard to see back here sometimes, so I just have a flashlight. And Subaru recommends to replace the fluid every 30,000 miles or 2.5 years, whichever comes first. Now I know where it is instinctively, but you can just use a flashlight to look down there. Now let's take a look at the fluid here. And right here, as you can see, this fluid is in very good shape. Also, it's right on the money. It's right on the F line, and that's what you want to check. But in this case, since we're doing this video, we're going to drain it and install brand new fluid. Now this is where, let me quickly show you. If you have to add fluid, if you don't want to replace the fluid, you just want to add it. Insert it right here into where the dipstick opening is, and this is where you add the fluid, okay? Now this being an Outback, I could probably fit underneath here, but just to give you a better view of what I'm doing, I am going to jack it up and drain the fluid. Now if you're curious how I'm going to jack up the vehicle, right here, of course, is the engine. That's our new catalytic converter that we installed a few weeks ago. And then right behind the oil pan is the front cross member. I'm going to jack it up from there. So just look for the front cross member, and that's a very good point to jack up the vehicle from. And sometimes I'm asked what kind of jack I use. This is, for the most part, I use a 3-ton Craftsman floor jack. I've had this for around 6 years. I did a unboxing video many years ago on this, which I almost dropped taking it out of the box because it's so heavy. But I like it. It's a good jack. Other stuff I use typically is a quick jack from Harbor Freight, which is Pittsburgh. That's a good jack as well. But it's only a 1.5 ton. I sort of like the 3-ton here when I have to lift up the cart quite high. And then once the vehicle is raised, I just have 2 floor jacks. One is on the driver's side frame rail. The other one's on the passenger side, and we just lower the jack. Okay, so if this is all brand new to you, right here is your exhaust. Again, that's your catalytic converter really on the Subaru. Right here is the oil pan. This is where you drain the engine oil from. That's a front sway bar. Keep going back. This is the cross member. This is where we jacked up the vehicle from. Then directly behind it, right here, this big body here is your transmission. And look straight up, and that's where the drain bolt is. Again, it's a T70 bit that you need to remove that. So let me grab a breaker bar. Now if you're familiar with my videos, you know that I'm a big fan of using just basic hand tools, and this is a breaker bar that's 19 inches in length. Makes it very, very easy breaking, especially in a vehicle like this, breaking any of these fasteners loose. Then we'll jump over to a 1/2-inch drive ratchet. Now I hope the lighting isn't too bad, but I have the dipstick removed. The other thing is, use a breaker bar, because these can really be, sometimes guys use impact guns to install these, and it can be incredibly tight and hard to remove. So in my case, I'm a right-hander, so I want to get as much strength on this as I can. So I'm going to be pushing toward the rear, and here we go. Well, just the floor jack, hold on. Also wear safety glasses, don't forget those safety glasses. Okay, cool. Let me grab a drain pan. And there we go. So now I'm going to clean up the drain bolt and also take a look that there is not a washer, and that's because it's still attached to the transmission housing. So make sure to remove that, which I will do in a moment once it finishes draining. At the end is a magnet. You'll find some small particles, which is perfectly normal. If you find large chunks and teeth, things like that, then you have a problem with your transmission, but this is in a perfectly fine shape. So now I'm going to measure how much came out by draining this drain pan into an empty container, and I can measure how much came out and put the same amount back into the vehicle. So now this is the washer that lives around the drain bolt. Now in my case I have a black washer. So the drain bolt needs to be tightened to 52 foot-pounds, and I have a torque wrench to do this. If you have a black or a brown washer, 52 foot-pounds. If your washer is silver, then 33 foot-pounds. Okay? Now if you plan on doing your own auto repair, grab yourself a torque wrench. Very, very useful tool to have. So in my case, I have to reinstall roughly 3.5 quarts worth of fluid. Now the thing is, I'm a little shy, but nonetheless you'll get the idea. I'm going to show you on how you can install the brand new fluid. I just have to go to the auto parts store tomorrow to get another quart. So grab yourself 4 quarts when you do this job. Okay, so 52 foot-pounds. Okay, and then I'm just going to clean off the area here with some towels. And then the last step, of course, is just inserting brand new fluid. I'll take a look at that funnel for you once I remove it regarding the measurement, because it's a little tight fit and it's sort of hard to get the right angle. So you need a pretty good, the right size funnel, let's say. And then I'm just going to insert the fluid right here and just place it up to the F line on the dipstick. Now again, I have to run to the parts store to grab another quart, but you get the idea. So I hope this helps a number of you out there. Once you're done with this, just check for leaks and you'll be all set.